What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord Dr. Professor Dark Joker here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are traditional fans with opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Kagurabachi Chapter 115. So in this chapter, looks like a lot of people are starting to arrive at the Dotenseki Research Center to study the metal. And Subaru Urita is he's examining it. He hasn't he has like a lot of concerns, whatever. So he examines it how what can happen when when spirit energy goes through, and then basically you have to create like the proper veins within it in order for it to channel without blowing up. Then Shiba and Rokihiro arrive, and everyone's you know everyone's there. So then yeah, so Rokihiro introduces himself to Urita. They shake hands, and Urita notices his grip. He asks how many katana he swords, and Rokihiro says like around a little over 200. And basically, apparently, he's been going above I guess the association's rules about, I guess, a max of 2 katanas a month. Rokiro's like, he doesn't care. As long as they're good katanas, he doesn't care. And yeah, so Rokihiro gives his findings on the Dotenseki, and he looked at it and he just breaks it down, like how it works, and everyone was basically everyone thinks that he someone leaked it to Shiba leaked it to him, and yeah, and so one of the guys there says tells Rookie to stop writing, that he'll explain that basically that if you try to force the metal to melt, the chain reaction will start and explosions will happen. That they can't forge anything with it. Rookie says he can do it, and Urita is definitely interested in Rokihiro. And sort of basically put they confine the Shiba and Rokihiro to a cell, and then and basically there's concern, and he's concerned that no one, yeah, they found those finds, but no one discloses to Shiba, so they're wondering how in the world. And Mashiro, the guy who the other guy who was with Shiba. So none that they didn't know about it, but Rokihiro was able to figure it out. And so Urita approaches Mashiro and grabs Mashiro's sword and examines it. And yeah. And he looks at the sword, and Urita looks at the sword, and he looks like he's very intrigued. And so it looks like he's probably gonna try to vouch for Rokihiro and Shiba. So that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I really like this chapter. Liked how they're setting up all this. You know, basically the forging of swords. Looking forward to the next one. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Chapter 84. So in this chapter, so Hitsuki has beaten Gaga, and Gaga tries to get, but he sees Hitsuki's glasses, so now he's scared of glasses now, and so then this goes towards the fight between Bobo and you know and Shishido. And then yeah, so you have that going on, and then basically you see it's a big fight. I mean, he's you know he's basically Bobo's very powerful, so he's just wrecking them, and then Shishio is strong, and so they discuss. So Bobo calls Shishio a geek for being a fan of idols, and Shishio says that idols are symbols of love and peace. And so Shishio says, and so then he explains it, and then Bobo says that that's wonderful. And he says, seems the only that seems like he, as far as he's concerned, they both he and Shishio want love and peace, but their perspective is what it is. And Bobo thinks that if love and peace are the reign, then the weaklings must be killed. And yeah, so yeah, and Shishio says that if Bobo's gonna uh, that something must have happened in Bubba's past, but he says he wants to make Bubba understand what the pain he's inflicting on others. And so Shishido attacks Bobo. So Shishido passes out. Well, he's about to pass out, and then relax, thinking he won, but then Bobo returns. But basically, Bobo doesn't seem very damaged. And then Helzebub Rise trying he attacks Bobo. And then Hellsbub says, that Bubba's behavior is his responsibility, that he'll kill him, if he dies doing it. And Hellsbub wants things to go back to the way things were with his family. Bubba says no, that it's impossible. And then so Bubba then shoots a hole through Hellsbub's chest. And Hellsbub's crown fades and appears over Bobo's head. Bobo claims to be the great demon lord now. So it seems that yeah, Hellzebub's dead. I don't know exactly what I don't know if it's has to if the demon lord has to lose a fight, or if he actually it goes all the way to him having to be killed. Because if it's losing a fight, like a challenge or something, and it's a win, who knows, maybe a crown transfers that way. And of course, if the guy's dead, crowns transfer somehow. So yeah. So it looks like basically, Kiyoshi's gonna fight the next demon lord, basically. So that should be a fun fight. So yeah, I thought it was a really good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Let's do the Witch chapter 74. So in this chapter, so Descartes has just captured, Hitsugi, the reverser magic. So and then she approaches Octobomb, and Octobomb's begs Descartes to acquire him. He basically wants to try to fulfill his friend's Crowler's last wish, and he doesn't want to die, whatever. And then, and so Descartes does the last attack on Octobomb and acquires him. I was kind of expecting Hitsugi. I was expecting Ichi to be the one to acquire him, or someone to come in and just kill him. And it's going to be interesting Hitsugi and Octobomb talking within Discars. That could be fun. So now and Ichi Jescars is like fast out falling. Ichi catches her. Basically, he was like going towards her because I guess he just said something was going on with Jescars. And looks like for Minerva, the baby's definitely on the way. It looks like her water. So yeah, the baby's definitely on the way. So everyone injured, whatever. So now like and so now Minerva's like in protective custody, and it says mission complete. So like it seems that the the mission's over, so the arc will probably end like next chapter or two. So where basically the baby's gonna be born. They'll probably explain. Maybe it's I don't know if it'll just be like the next Chrono Weaver, like Chrono Weaver 2, like if they're actually doing a Sandman esque thing, like with this. Well, the second Sandman was not Morpheus's son, but he was born within the dream, as people who read or watched Sandman know. Like it's a Sandman like thing where once the old one dies, the like basically the partial dream creature or whatever becomes the next dream of the endless. And that's probably what's gonna happen. The half magic is gonna become the next Chrono Weaver. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. My Family, chapter 130. So in this chapter, it's revealed that the hostage takers aren't just a bunch of shippers who are angry how that show it ended, that they were all fans of. Apparently, Becky's the only person that thought the ending was good. Like basically, there's some amnesia thing where I guess a character that she was supposed expected to end up with didn't happen. Becky Tao's good subversion of expectations, which is a phrasing that should never be used as a compliment. And yeah, apparently, and like even people like who are hostage are like, yeah, we kind of agree with them. And people at home are like, yeah, we kind of agree. It's revealed that so the end originally, the basically the Imaria like marries Sam, like Sam, I guess it doesn't like, and that was the original ending, but apparently it was the Mr. Broadcasting forced it to change. And then apparently the reason that change happened is because someone who was a fan of a guy named Stewart, who was the actor that played Diff, had their own ideas for how it should go, and told the minister about it. And the minister, I guess, listened to her and forced, you know, basically forced like the studio to change it. And apparently, a lot of people were not happy about that. So yeah, you had a shipper. So you had one shipper who I'm guessing is one of the hostages. I guess made that ending, and then a bunch of shippers took retaliation. Yeah, I mean, I freaking the shippers are just a bunch of degenerate freaks. They are freaks. I mean, so you have some famous one, the Raylos. That's one of the more famous shippings. You had all the whole med routine Jacob thing, and yeah, I think Hunger Games had it with Gale and Peta to a lesser extent. And yeah, dude, shipping's a bad thing. It generally is one of the worst things in fandom. Is shippers, like they're generally amongst like some of the worst. But yeah, and it's funny. So later, so Lloyd like says he's one pure camera, so he offers to do some backstage work. Yuri's asking him why he's collaborating. Lloyd says, hey, we gotta get this done quick to get Yor out here. And Yuri, seems to agree. Lloyd's asked to so he does so then Yor tries to what like Yor's asked to play like fill in the role of some actress named Joanna, be like Bumbleina. There's not a lot of lines, there's not a lot for her to work with. But I'm guessing basically she looks like that character. And then basically Yuri, I guess annoyed that Yor doesn't have as many, I guess, lines as she could have. He comes up with some ideas, and I guess to a lot of the hostage takers' mind, it makes sense. So yeah, but then Yuri gets a script, finds a script, and reveals that the character Yor is playing is supposed to kiss some dude. And I'm guessing we haven't seen Yuri's reaction face. That will be interesting. But yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. That was funny. It was like they really took hostages over over some show. Like what the heck? But yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Gonron Egg Chapter 19. So in this chapter, so Oma's seemingly dead. Oma wakes up some, I don't know, purgatory or heaven area. He sees his father, and Oma starts talking to his father. He doesn't really have any memories, and but then he remembers Gone Wrong, and then he Oma says he has to go back, and yeah, he has to go back to help Gone Wrong, and his father lets him go, and then Oma, so Gone Wrong is fighting the Reigoku, and then obviously Gone is still sad about Oma being dead, but then when so Reigoku offers for Garong gonna be a slave, the slave. Um, yeah, so then basically, then here's wait, Sparrows will be a slave, and then one guy says that his whole unit's wiped out. He says he'll submit. Rhaegar's no need for the weak, and then he just kills the guy, and Garong sees all that happen, and then yeah, so and, Garong says it's not a bad idea, maybe a good idea because could give him a chance to cut Reigoku's head off when Reigoku's asleep, and then Reigoku's looking at Garong. He's like, second thought, you die. And then you see something appear, like a tentacle monster. It's implied to be Oma, basically in its hatched form. So that should be interesting if that's the case, and you know, so I'm guessing it's Oma. So it'd be interesting what happens with the rest of the series with Oma in that form. But yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Mage Next Door, chapter 18. So in this chapter, so the droid mages attack, Suju, Sujumura. So yeah. So you see the fights going on, obviously things are not going well for, um, you know, for the school. Yeah, basically, especially Sujumura not using magic, and the way mages are, they're just there to kill all the humans. Then Osagawa shows up and challenges the guy, and looks like Osagawa's more powerful than ever. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I thought this was a good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Kunon the Sorcerer can see episode 12. So in this episode, so Kunon writes, Mirka a letter about like his time in the academy. So yeah, and then different factions that keep trying to you know recruit Kunon. So Elia of Ability recruits Kunon, and Elva Harmory tries to. And then you have, and so Kunon says yes to both Elia and Elva. Now, in regards to Cassis from Rationality asking Kunon to join, Kunon says no, and implied that Cassis is actually a dude, and like so basically that's why he said no. And it's funny that Rhea is like attracted to all three. The one to ask, he assumes Cass is a girl. And like that whole bit, his reaction to that was so freaking funny. So all the factions are like, "Yay, we got Kunon." Then they learned like said yes to all three because like one of the girls from earlier who's trying to recruit Kunon, she succeeds in getting Kunon to join Rationality. So that bit was funny. But yeah, so and yeah, so basically, Mirka gets the letter, she reads it, she's happy that, there's probably a Kunon has friends, but he's concerned about the fact that one of them's female. And so Rinko has Kunon sort out his like records account so that he can be more responsible with his money. And so Kunon's taken to the to headquarters to like for everyone to sort it out, like the mess. And then yeah, so then yeah, it's definitely interesting. So Kunon can't really make a decision, so he ends up just saying he's going to join all three, like he said earlier. So whatever. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. A lot of that probably explained next week. But yeah, I thought it was a decent episode. Looking forward to the next one. Hayachan is in Scary episode 10. So in this episode, so Nana like basically is helping pick up Kaya, and she talks with Chi about things. So you know then and basically like Chi's trying to understand everything because she wants to help Kaya. And then like when Nana's taking care of Kaya, well, then basically there's happens to like you know like Bob and his boss, they're trying to like keep an eye on Kaya and some of the other spirits nearby. Yeah, and you see like yeah, right. Hmm. And it hints at like so with the Shrine Man, the eldest, like its daughters made the Shrine Man, and so Kaya's mother was not a you know was not like the like was second born, so like Nana was first born, so she had all the rights and all that. And then we get and like there was an issue like only the oldest female becomes a psychic, whatever. So and apparently it's explained that Kaya's mother must have somehow researched how the rituals were done for the family in order to like do it herself, which leaves those like two specter like beings. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting how that affects because that brings the motives of Kyle's mother into account. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Oedo Fire Slayer, Legend of Phoenix, episode 9. So in this episode, they believe they found the guy who was committing arson. The Foxfire burning. So then they get investigations. They try to catch the guy, but once they deal with the fires, Gingo is basically framed for it, and some of them quit, quit the group, like firefighting group, and so in this basically he's arrested. I guess he's like having to deal with all that. So yeah, I thought it was a decent episode. We're getting looks like we're getting very close to like a lot of stuff being revealed soon. Yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Hell's Paradise Season 2 Episode 10. So in this episode, this focuses on the fight between like Shion and Zujin. And so, you know, you had the Naru guy there as well. So, they fight and then like you see some of Shion's backstory with he was born blind but his mother had like his eyes slit because so that to really sell that he was blind for like the for acts, like they would basically be street performers where they would basically do the like Shion's really good usage of Tao. Like he's able to see stuff before it happens, so it allows him to like dodge like attacks and stuff. And so basically people maybe see a blind guy, avoid a lot of that. And basically Sujin is killed and Shion's like basically he's like down for the count, where he's dead, where he's alive, whatever. Like he is down for the count. But yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Looking for the next one. Under Doctor Chapter 8. So this chapter, so Haiji completes a surgery, and then he returns, and so he's called for neurosurgery. Now it's explained that Shuli, I guess, didn't learn anything in school, so no basic math. So basically, like he has to get to what a high schooler would actually know at that point at 16. And Haiji asked Chiwa to help Shuli with his studies, and shown that Shuli thinks Chiwa is beneath him due to Shuli beating her. So basically, Shuli still sees things in terms of strength as far as hierarchy. So she it's a adjustment. And it's kind of funny. So Hydra gets a call the first surgery in for someone with a pulmonary artery intimal sarcoma. Yeah. And then Hydra says yes, and then he go basically he and Shuli go there. Oh, and Chu will go there. So that basically, and obviously, Haiji, there's a past regarding that type of surgery. And so Haiji meets up with Mikuri Sawatari, who's a doctor he knows. And then, so Haiji meets the kid, Takayamada, who, basically, who, has, who has the disease. He's really sick, Taki's like, hey, let me repay you when I'm an adult, and then like it's explained that basically there's a reimbursement program that's covering that anyway. So and basically Haiju basically had said he wanted experience with dealing with that type of illness. So yeah, so and then yeah, so obviously whatever happened last time he did surgery, like it's definitely really affected Haiji. Crabs on Haiji's story, Haiji says, "Oh, that's like a good omen." So yeah, so basically then yeah. So it's real that the kid had like said the same thing that whichever girl he had tried to say before, like he had said the same exact words. And yeah, so then Chiwa explains what happened the last time Haiji did the surgery. Basically, he did surgery was a success, but the kid was so far long gone that the kid still died. And I guess Haiji's still dealing with that. Like basically he was crying the car about that death. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. But yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. Liked all the the medical stuff they're bringing in, and I thought it was freaking funny. So it's still Chua, wait, with Chiwa and Shuli. So I thought it was a good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Kiyoto's Magic, Chapter 7. So in this chapter, yeah, so this one, so Kiyoto's allies, they were able to defeat, you know, all the monsters. So like, yeah, so like those like moving armors, but then, yeah, but then the two members of the Seraph Wings, which is like I guess the big guild in the city that Kanto's guild's at. And so yeah, and their names are Lamia and Zio. And so it basically turns out that Seraph Wings are there with the armors. Obviously, Kanto and his group they're not there for necessarily that for this wish. They're there, it's a missing persons case. So they go there, and you see some like some fights like they're trying to deal with the armors. And it's revealed that the kid, like, so for Seraphines, so Zio was a gold as a rookie. He joined around the same time that Kanto did. Kanto's colorless, but yeah. So then yeah, this is a good like this good chapter. Like you see, like so one of the armors talks to Kanto about where Ibis is. So Kanto decides to use the trail that you know like if I use a trail like for leading from the one living half armor or whatever to Ibis. So that's gonna be interesting how that goes. But yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. Like some max that they introduced, other guilds. That should be fun. But yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Alien Headbutt, Chapter 6. So in this chapter, Oga and Tatsumi, they're, dealing with the aliens. Basically, there's an issue with the, it being, they need like a, like a range projectile in order to launch at it because it flies. And so, yeah, so, And yeah, so you see, basically they were able to get to a safer, like, so Oga tries to, like, tackle, the aliens. Obviously, there's, like, it is interesting what all, like, happens in this. So you see some more of, their backs, like, Tatsumi and Oga's backstory. And then, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, you see them, like, and so then Tatsumi pulls out his sling and actually does it kind of like how he was taught. As a way to get around the some of the regulations for hunting. And so yeah, and yeah, I thought it was a pretty good chapter. Liked how they introducing like all the different aliens, showing more like how like the I guess like about like how like they do, but then like Tatsui's able to hit the target, and that gives Oga an opening to use a wrestling move on. So that's interesting. So yeah, it was cool teamwork. Obviously, like so need a range attack. So we'll see what happens. Like whether or not it's feasible, or not it's feasible that worked. It looks like it did. But yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. Like the action of like the strategy of all that was great, and liked it. Looking forward to the next one. Rooster Fire episode 1. So in this episode, so this is a new series that started on Adult Swim. It premiered. After that, it ended up going to Hulu, Disney Plus. For streaming. I don't know how in the world it didn't go to HBO Max. I don't know how that didn't happen. That makes no sense. Because Adult Swim's a Warner Brothers owned show. Well, now in a few months, years, whatever, Paramount owned uh, network. But yeah, so in this, so basically it's about a chicken that fights demons. It after his so Keiji's the chicken after his sister is killed by a demon. Basically, he like is not happy about his illness. He actually yells at like a frequency that basically like it can like damage demons if you hit the frequency right, like the resonance or whatever. So he does that to kill the demons. So he saves his kid from a demon, and then like yeah, he's chased by two boys in the city. They're trying to eat him. He ends up this old guy's yeah yard, and the old guy claims that he and the dog like live together. Like he and the chicken like live together or whatever. And so like he calls like Mr. Cluckers or something, and like Keiji's like, what? And it's so funny. It's funny like the chicken. This they just play it straight. They play it straight. They like kind of like how like Naked Gun would do. How they play it straight. Like this plays it straight with like the chicken and all that. So it's like beginning of the episode, the chicken was having sex with a female chicken, Cage was having sex with a female chicken, and he said, he's a wonder. Then, like, due to like her being sad, he goes back at the end of the episode because he was going to leave on tearful goodbyes or whatever. And he sees that female chicken having sex with another chicken, and it's so funny. I'm like, what? I was probably like, what the heck am I watching? Like, what the heck? But it was so funny. Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Looking for the next one. Well, that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.